So I just bought this GoPro, and this is a 10. And I don't know much about these, but I mean, I do a bunch of other camera stuff and blah blah. Anyway, I've known the history of them since they had the first ones, and it always seemed like they work really good. So I figured I finally would buy one. This thing is absolutely terrible. The quick app on the phone doesn't want to connect half the time. It has to have Bluetooth on. It has to have Wi-Fi on. So then it runs the battery dead on my phone, and you literally watch the battery on the GoPro go from like 95% to like 50% in a few minutes. And this is brand new. This is day. I bought it last night at about 8 o'clock at Costco, and I used it today. And I recorded a couple of times lapse, and I haven't even used it for more than an hour. Okay, there's not even an hour of use on it, and I've already had the battery down to like 30% or something like that. And then I put it back on the charger, and I noticed that the battery doesn't really want to charge, and I had it sitting here in this, and it doesn't want to turn green. So then I pulled the battery out and put it back in. All of a sudden, it turned green. So I thought, okay, it's good. So I pop it into GoPro, and it reads like 88%. So I'm like, what the hell's going on here? So I started to do a search on Google. Why did GoPro 10 batteries suck so bad? Yeah, and then I come across the overheating issue, which this thing runs hot as hell. I have installed some kind of firmware update. I realized right away you can't use 5.3K because if you do, I mean, like, you're just going to kill the thing fast. So I put it in 1080p at like 30 frames per second, and the fisheye is pretty bad, so I have it on narrow, so I could use it for my ham radio stuff and filming, and so here I am filming with the S10 Galaxy, and well, I've got an S23 coming soon, so I guess 50 megapixel camera for what I'm doing should probably outperform this GoPro. I wanted to like this thing. I really did. I've always wanted one, and so it was on sale, um, like $369 at Costco, and so I think I paid about $400 because what they do is the thing is $429 or something new, and they charge you tax on that and then subtract $70. So I paid about $400 for it, but I'm not keeping something that's overheating, and it shut down on me earlier to where I couldn't connect to it. I couldn't turn it on. I had to pull the battery to get it to come on. Also, another thing I noticed about this that was really bad was the more I use it, the better it gets. But the battery thing did not want to open. Like I felt like I was going to break it. Um, and so, I mean, it's kind of cool, but like, I don't know. We walked around the house with this piece of junk here. This is an old Turnigy, like a SJ cam, I think is what it says if you look underneath the battery. But it came from like Hobby King, and it's 1080p. It's just really cheap. And other than like there's a scratch on the lens and things like that, you know, it wasn't any more shaky than this was. So, and you can't use this at its fullest resolution. So, I mean, like kind of like 1080p is really most manageable. So I don't know. I just read lots of bad stuff. I don't know what you guys think, but um, and this isn't working for me. I can tell you that right now. And as hot as this thing gets, just sitting there doing nothing, So I guess when you have it on, and if you're viewing anything, the camera's working, it's producing heat. But I just think that like for what they're charging for these things, because these are $449 at most places, and it doesn't come with the two batteries. That's a deal at Costco. So like that's another $49 for the batteries. So um, we're just gonna box it back up, and we're just gonna take it back. Luckily, I put it on my credit card, so um, it is what it is. So that's my GoPro story, and I'm sticking to it. So um, it ain't gonna work for me.